So the number one question I get asked regarding Instagram, especially for newbies, is where do you start? How do you actually start to get people to notice you? If you're a brand that has no inbound links whatsoever to your account, there's no real way of people to discover you unless maybe you've got a link on your website, which again would rely on you already having built a certain amount of brand presence. Then how do you actually get started and get people to notice you and follow you and start to build those customer relationships? So the answer to that is that you need to start interacting with other people. They're not going to come to you, so you need to start finding people who would be your ideal followers and start to follow them and get involved in what they do. So let's just take a look at that in situ with cheese posties. So we know the sort of followers that we want, people who are into cheese porn, into food, into subscription. So we can already start to use that to gauge an idea of where we might find our followers. So other accounts regarding grilled cheese or cheese toasties. So we start doing a search. Then we can start to find other accounts which might share our followers, our potential followers. So for example, grilled cheese social, this looks pretty good. I do actually know this account already. So this is perfect. They've got loads of followers and they've got loads of posts which are quite relevant to what we do and very similar. So we know that people who are liking these posts, especially the ones specific to grilled cheese, are probably going to be quite keen on seeing what we've got to offer. So if we just take a post like this one, for example, which is of a grilled cheese sandwich, then we've immediately got a list of people interacting with this content who are interested in this subject matter. So if we just click on one of these people, and then just start taking a look through and start to find anything that might be remotely relevant to us, so a shared interest. For example, this shot. So because this is food and our account is primarily about food, we start to flick through and say, make some comments, start interacting with this user on a genuine level. And this is the real secret to getting going on. Well, it's no real secret, but it's something that you really need to understand, the social dynamic of Instagram, that it is a social sharing network, that it's the sort of place where people come to socialize visually. When you start to come from that standpoint, things start to get a bit clearer. It's easy to sort of carve out a strategy of how you're going to get in touch with people. So just take a look from another angle. So we're a subscription service, so let's just take a look under subscription box. So this is another good way of doing it. Looking at hashtags. So this is people who've posted stuff with the hashtag subscription box. So the likelihood is that they've just gone out and bought a subscription box, or they're interested in them, or something's going on within their post that might make them relevant to us. So here's a good one. So this is somebody who's just received a subscription box. So let's draw their attention to us. Give them a post. Let's take a look at their account. See if potentially they've got anything else which is relevant to us. Lo and behold, here's some food. So I'm just going to like a few of these. And then what's going to happen is they will start seeing notifications on their phone from our account. Cheese Posties has just liked your photo. Cheese Posties has just commented on your photo. And what they're more than likely to do is to come back, click on our account, immediately see our description of what we do, maybe take a browse through our posts, get an idea of what our brand's about, and if we're lucky and if they are that way inclined, they'll follow us, and then they'll start to see us more regularly. And then as they see us more regularly, they'll build a relationship, and then potentially after a while they might click on our link, they might click on our app link to go down and take a look at that. And then we've started to build a relationship, we've started to build our own presence with that person within their online social life. And then that's basically the long and short of building out your network of actual followers. And if you do this, if you spend 20 minutes to half an hour a day for 5 days, you can very easily get to over 100 followers in that time. So just dedicate 20 minutes to half an hour a day, and then you'll really make a very strong start of highly targeted people. And then if you interact with them more, you've got a really hot base of really committed and good followers that you can build on. And as soon as you start getting that interaction on your account, and people start commenting on your photos and sharing them, then that's where it really builds from. And then it's just a process from there of the same thing over and over again. Now in the courses, which we'll discuss later on as well, then there's ways of automating this whole process. So once we've learned what exactly we need to do and the sort of things that work correctly when we do this manually, then there are ways of automating this process and setting things on autopilot. So these sort of laborious tasks of actually going around and clicking and liking and sharing and commenting can actually be automated based on what works for you when you've been doing it manually. So it's quite an ethical way of doing it. We'll talk about that later on in different courses.